Hey everybody, welcome to the Show and Tell show. This week, it's us, it's Huronia Museum and Penetanguishene Centennial Museum. I think you know the cast of characters by this point if you've been following along. And we are looking at things because spring has sprung in North Simcoe, and we threw out that challenge, so we're going to go first, and Genevieve's going to tell us what we have in our spring collection at Huronia Museum.
Okay, so all that dripping of melting snow off the roof for young men, any man actually, in Midland or probably any harbor town along the Great Lakes can only signal one thing, and that is the fitting out of the ships for the upcoming shipping season. And so what I've got here is a booklet by photographs by J.W. Bald of Midland. All sorts of photos, but they've included one, or he's included one, this photograph right here of 3 ships, the Strathcona, the Turret Chief, and the Agawa in spring. They're at the west end of Midland Harbor, and they're all being fitted out for the shipping season. And what fitting out means is really they're just checking over. The engineering department will come to the ships, check over all of the overhaul, I guess, all the machinery for this season, all the communications equipment and the operating systems, the cargo hauling equipment, life-saving and safety equipment, soundness of the vessel, that'll all be checked over and fixed if it needs to be fixed. And then they have to get certification or certificates, I guess, of that they passed to make sure that everything's sound and no boats will sink over the next several months until December, when the shipping season ends and the ships will go back into layup at a harbor somewhere on the Great Lakes. So that's what shipping means to me.
Good. No, Nicole saw the one leaving Midland.
Yes, the icebreaker.
Yeah.
And then
the icebreaker. Yeah. That's yeah, for sure signals the beginning of spring when the icebreaker comes in so all the ships can start shifting around the port.
Yeah.
So I guess
What do we have over in Penetanguishene?
You can go, Jan.
Okay, sorry, didn't mean to. So when you gave us a challenge of spring, it naturally made me think of the fall and the winter, but our story is actually about spring. So it's about the lumbering story. So it was late in the fall when the loggers would go into the bush and start cutting the trees down. And then during the winter, they'd build the ice roads. And in the spring, they would start bringing them down. They'd be waiting on the ice because they bring them down the ice roads. They'd be waiting on the ice of the bay, waiting for it to melt. But because there were so many lumber companies in the area, they each had to identify their own logs. So that's where the timber stamp comes into play.
Oh.
Okay, so this one is, I'll bring it very close. It is the Becks. Now they all had to be registered. There was hundreds of registered timber stamps during the logging boom of the late 1800s. So as they felled the trees, they would hammer this into the end, both ends, so that it could be identified, because they would have huge amounts like this coming down into the bay. In the spring, they'd be in huge log booms that they said they would touch both sides of Penetang Bay as they came in. So coming down, if there was a bad storm and a boom broke or a log went astray, you could identify it and retrieve it, or a fellow lumber company, if they were kind enough, could send it back to you. So they were all identified. Each company had their own stamp. So that's our story of spring, because this is about the time the ice is just starting to melt, and very soon the booms would be coming into the bay.
Wowee.
So the neat thing is the horses that worked so hard all winter, dragging all these big loads of logs, would have the summer off.
Oh.
And they'd go back to the farms and just relax and get ready for the next fall.
What a life.
I
The
think
men
we-
didn't get the summers off, but the horses did. Yeah.
Nice. I think we could use one of those today for all the recycling bins we're gonna get back now that winter's over.
Oh, right.
For windy days, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what's our challenge for next week, Penetanguishene?
Well, because of lack of imagination, let's just rely on the good old alphabet again and go with the letter S
Okay.
There you go.
Perfect.
for spring, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. The letter
Okay.
S. We can do that.
All right.
All right. So thanks for joining us again, everybody. Thanks. It's always great seeing you guys. This is like
Hello,
the
hello.
highlight of my COVID week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I got a letter from a friend last night. I felt so old school. It was so exciting.
Oh, wow. A letter in the mail. That's so cool.
Right. So
Very
that was
cool.
the highlight of my year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I'll see you all next week. Same time, same channel.
Okay.
All right.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.